Chapter 261. White Flame Giant. Including Devil Heaven, the faces of the 7 heroes of Heavenly City and the others suddenly changed drastically. Beyond the endless sea of fire, 4 figures descended from the sky, each of them exuding a powerful aura that prevented the surrounding waves of fire from approaching. They were clearly the 4 of them: Kangchon, Shaojin, Brahmashin, and the 3rd Prince of the Dragon. Is this the endless fire sea? It doesn't seem that great. Little Gold felt the temperature of the flames in the sea of fire in front of him and said with some disdain. Kangchon also reached out and invoked a flame, and found that, although the temperature in it was high, it could only threaten Imperial-level powerhouses, and even quasi-invincible powerhouses could easily withstand it. The endless sea of fire has 3 layers. This should be the first layer of red-colored flames, belonging to the lowest level, Van Xin said, right? The 3rd Prince of the Dragon nodded his head as he heard. This first layer of crimson flames can only threaten cultivators whose flesh reaches the Emperor level, and quasi-invincible powerhouses will be able to easily get through it, but the last 2 layers are much more powerful, since it is rumored that as long as one's physical body reaches the invincible realm, one can leave the spirit sealing space from here. Then even if the last 2 layers are even more powerful, they are not a threat to us. So after you break through the shattering vacuum realm, brother, let's leave from here together, Little Gold said. The 4 of them were about to leave, however. At this moment, Kangchon's heart shook when a vague and mysterious power tugged at his mind, causing him to involuntarily look towards the endless sea of fire in front of him. Frowning lightly, a trace of doubt appeared in Kangchon's eyes as he felt that there was a mysterious power within the endless sea of fire that attracted him, causing him to have a desire to go in and explore. His abnormality caught the attention of the Little Gold trio. Brother, you. Little Gold didn't finish his words. His eyes suddenly widened, and next to him, the 3rd Prince of the Dragon and Fan Xin also looked at Kangchon with shocked faces. At this moment, Kangchon's entire body was drenched in purple light. His long hair that was draped over his shoulders had also turned purple, and his pair of deep eyes were translucent with purple lightning. He was like a purple god of war, exuding an unrivaled and powerful aura. Roar! Kangchon roared as his entire body rose up into the air, and the powerful force emanating from him shook all 3 of Shaojin back. What's going on? Why is brother suddenly displaying a combat state? Little Gold's face was filled with doubt. In the sky, Kangchon displayed Kangchon Hegemony Blood's strongest battle state, looking at the endless sea of fire in front of him with a domineering aura. What a powerful force! Why have I never heard of this kind of bloodline before? The 3rd Prince of the Dragon looked at Kangchon at this moment in a daze, his eyes shocked beyond measure. Brahma Heart on the side was also filled with shock, although he had seen Kangchon display his strongest fighting state many times. But every time he saw it, he felt shocked, facing this state of Kangchon. A feeling of irresistibility couldn't help but rise up in his heart, not to mention the shock of the 3 little Jin people. At this moment, Kangchon, who was high in the air, was also puzzled. Strange. Why is my Kangchon hegemonic blood uncontrollable, and even exploding automatically? Kangchon squinted his eyes and carefully looked at the endless sea of fire in front of him, his intuition telling him that there was something in it that attracted him. In the endless sea of fire, there seemed to be a mysterious force that could make his Kangchon hegemony blood erupt. This was the first time Kangchon had encountered such a situation, and it felt unbelievable. It seems necessary to go in and explore, Kangchon murmured, then pressed down the boiling Kangchon hegemony blood in his body, and his body slowly descended. Seeing this, the 3 Little Golds immediately greeted them. Brother, what's going on? You seem to have something on your mind, Little Gold said with a face full of worry, and the 3rd Prince of the Dragon and Fan Xin on the side were also full of curiosity. Nothing is wrong. Kangchon waved his hand as he sniffed. He didn't voice out the doubts in his heart, After all, it was just his intuition. However, he told Little Gold, and the three of them, that he would enter the endless fire sea to explore it. In response, Little Gold and Brahma Heart also agreed with both hands. They also wanted to go in and take a look. Seeing this, the third prince of the dragon laughed and said, "Many trialists are curious about the endless fire sea. So every trialist who has reached the peerless realm will enter the strongest to take a tour. Let's go. I'll lead the way for you." Saying that, the third prince of the dragon jumped into the sea of fire first. The three of Kangcheon hurriedly followed. The four of them were strangely fast, cutting 4 arc trails in the sky and disappeared. At the junction of the second and third levels of the endless sea of fire, the dark golden palace still stood here. It was covered in light, emitting a palpitating power. In front of the palace's main door, a fierce battle was currently taking place as 15 blue flame giants were besieging the demon, heavenly brothers and the 7 heroes of Celestial City. The scene was extremely shocking. What's going on? Why are there so many flame giants? And each one is so powerful. It can't be done. We're bound to die if this continues. These flame giants are too strong. The 7 of us allied together can't even stop 3 of them. In the midst of the shocking battle, the faces of the 7 males of Heavenly City were incomparably unsightly. Under their joint efforts, they unexpectedly couldn't suppress 3 flame giants. On the contrary, on the other side, Devil Heaven, alone, fought 12 flame giants with unrivaled might. Although there was still Devil Peak at the side to help Devil Sky, his power was almost negligible. All the attacks of the 12-headed flame giants were all blocked by Devil Sky. This kind of gap is really big. The 7 males of Heavenly City all felt ashamed. At this time, Windless blocked a flame giant's attack, and his body was blown away 100 meters away from the palace. He was about to proceed to fend off the flame giant attacking him, but he immediately found that the flame giant had abandoned him and turned around to charge towards the battlefield of Demon Sky. Strange, could it be? A brilliant light flashed in Wu Feng's eyes as he looked at the circle of light around the dark, golden palace, and suddenly realized that he was already outside the circle of light. A conjecture instantly surfaced in his mind. "You guys quickly exit outside the circle of light." Windless transmitted his voice to the other 6 of the 7 heroes of the Heavenly City, and those 6 were very trusting of him. And upon hearing his words, they hurriedly took the opportunity to exit outside the circle of light. At the same time, those 3 flame giants that were besieging them also abandoned them and rushed towards the 2 Devil Sky brothers. At this time, its 6 people also discovered the problem. Chang Kongji was surprised and said, "These flame giants can't step outside the circle of light." Obviously, these flame giants were restricted and could not leave the dark golden palace by too greater distance. "Roar, Windless, you guys are looking for death." A roar rang out, and not far away, the Devil Sky, who was surrounded by 15 flame giants, let out a long roar and glared at the Heavenly City 7 heroes with a face full of anger. Because of the departure of the Heavenly City 7 heroes, all the flame giants all attacked the 2 Devil Sky brothers. Even if Devil Sky was strong, he felt a huge pressure at this time. In his mind, he thought that it was Windless who was trying to kill them with a sword. As soon as Windless took a look at the situation, he knew that it was a misunderstanding on Mochon's part and quickly shouted, "Mochon, you guys quickly exit outside of the circle of light, and these flame giants will no longer attack you." He also didn't want to offend Mochon. At this time, after all, if he wanted to explore this mysterious palace, he couldn't do it without Mochon's power. Heavenly Demon Cross Chop. Listening to Windless' reminder, even though Devil Sky was a little skeptical, he immediately executed the Heavenly Devil 7 transformations, using 7 figures to then execute the Heavenly Devil Cross Slash simultaneously. As such, 7 powerful cross slashes were inspired, temporarily blocking the 15 Heavenly Flame Giants. He took the opportunity to pull demonic peak, breaking away from the encirclement, and coming to the side of the 7 males of the heavenly city. When Devil Heaven left the palace aperture, before he could question why Windless and the others abandoned their station and fled, he immediately realized that those flame giants that had previously surrounded him had all retreated back to the palace. At this point, Devil Heaven also understood the cause and immediately frowned as he said in a deep voice, "With these flame giants guarding us, we simply can't kill our way in with just a few of us." 15 flame giants. Each one of them was incomparably powerful. With his strength, he could at most suppress 10 flame giants. Any more would not work. As for the remaining 5 flame giants, the 7 males of the heavenly city simply couldn't withstand them. What's more, it was unknown how many flame giants were in this palace, and there might be even stronger flame giants. Make it public. The guarding power of this palace is too strong. Even the gate is so difficult to enter. There is still no telling how many dangers there are inside. We can't explore it with us alone. We can only notify all the invincible powerhouses of the heavenly city battlefield and gather all the people's strengths to find out what's going on. Windless said with a face full of bitterness. This time, it was likely to be a big chance, but the chance was too big for them to swallow alone. Should we also tell Kangchon, the 3rd prince of the dragon, and the others? Chang Kongji squeezed his fists and asked in a deep voice. On the side. When Devil Sky heard Kangchon's name, his pupils shrunk. His eyes were glowing with warlike intent as he said in a cold voice, "So what if I tell them I was just about to meet them? Big brother. One of them you may not be afraid of, but if Kangchon and the 3rd prince of the dragon join forces..." Devil Peak had a worried look on his face. The words weren't finished, but the meaning was obvious. Devil Heaven is no longer strong. It is impossible to be the enemy of the alliance of the 3rd prince of the dragon and Kangchon. This is almost the consensus of all the trialists. HMPH, your big brother, I'm not alone. There are quite a few invincible powerhouses that follow me. Devil Heaven snorted coldly at his words. It was just that in his heart. He was indeed afraid of the 3rd prince of the dragon and Kangchon joining forces. This matter indeed can't brute them. Although the endless fire sea is seldom visited by people, it doesn't mean that there is no one. Maybe one day this palace will be discovered. We can't hide it for long. Windless' face was deep, then continued, however, we also have advantages. This palace is exceptionally dangerous. Want to go in and explore without joining forces is not possible. We can completely rely on the magic sky's appeal. First pull together a group of invincible powerhouses. At that time, even if we are enemies with the Kangchon and the 3rd prince of the dragon, we may not be no match. Not bad, just do as you wish. Devil Sky nodded his head at his words. He had to say that Windless did have some wisdom. No wonder he was able to make the other 6 of the 7 heroes of Heavenly City willingly respect him as their leader. Good, let's split up. First pull together a group of invincible powerhouses, then spread the news of the palace, Windless said. Devil Heaven nodded, and then left with Devil Peak. Only the 7 males of Celestial City were left in the arena at once. Windless, do you think we are not seeking skin with the tiger? The more people there are, the smaller our advantage will be. Even if this chance is great, we may not be able to obtain it. One of the 7 heroes of Sky City said with a worried face. What are you afraid of? Where will the path of cultivation be smooth? If we don't put up a fight, even if we go out safely this time, we will die under the heavenly tribulation in the future. The black-clothed youth from the poison sect said in a cold voice. With Demon Peak as a pawn, Demon Heaven wouldn't dare to do anything to us, and he will protect us, Chang Kongji calmly said. To be able to encounter this chance, while we are leaving the spirit sealing space, this is the will of Heaven. If Heaven gives it and doesn't take it, we will be condemned by Heaven in the future. We will fight this time, Windless said in a deep voice. In the endless sea of fire, Kangchons for people were flying at great speed at high altitude. The crimson flames around them barbecued them, but they were unable to leave a single trace on their bodies. This was the flames of the first layer of the endless sea of fire. And to them, whose physical bodies had already reached the peak of invincibility, there was no threat at all. The four of them were very fast and soon crossed the first layer and entered the second layer. The second layer was blue flames that looked very beautiful, but the temperature in it was much stronger than the first layer, and it was feared that those Emperor-level powerhouses would be burnt to ashes as soon as they entered.